What's going on, Soul Fam? Welcome to Mira D Tarot. I am Mira D here today, and I'm here to give you guys a little bit of a meditation instruction to show y'all what heart breathing is. I know I mentioned in a lot of my videos that we need to do some heart breathing, breathe into the heart, breathe into the heart. So I'm here to explain to y'all what heart breathing is for those of you who don't know and what the importance of it is, and then to give you guys just a little bit of a tutorial on how to start heart breathing. So what is heart breathing? First off, we got to get into what the heart is. So the heart is the center of our truth. The heart is where our truth lives. The heart is where basically like our soul lives, our essence lives. And so if you look at anything throughout all of history, throughout all of time, they're always like, listen to your heart, follow your heart, your heart, your heart, your heart. And it's become such a cliche thing that we haven't given it any relevance in our actual lives. We're raised up in a society where we're taught to be logical, to think logically about everything. And it is true that logic does have its place. However, we can't apply logic to every situation in life. Everything needs to be approached in its proper way. Sure, when you're doing math, 2 + 2 = 2, but when we're living life, what happens is we try to apply that logic to life situations. We're like, oh, last time I walked down the street and then I looked down at the ground and then I found $1. And so we take that solution, and every time we walk to the corner of that street, we try to do the same thing to try to recreate that situation and recreate that outcome. However, it doesn't work that way with logic when it comes to life situations. The universe is going to show up in all kinds of different ways for us every single time. And so what we're doing at that point is we're cutting ourselves off from the possibilities of how things can come into our lives. So when it comes to situations, like some situations in life obviously require logic, but when it comes to certain situations in life, what we need to do is tune into our heart space, tune into our truth, and we will always be led to our very next step. Okay? And so the thing is that when we're here, when we're present, when we're in this moment, we're opening ourselves up to the possibilities of everything. We're stepping outside of the bounds of time, and we're opening ourselves, the time and limitation, and we're opening ourselves up to the possibilities of everything that exists. Okay? We're opening ourselves up for things to the creative versus the limited, And so the importance of the heart is that when we breathe into our heart, we become acquainted with what our truth feels like. We become acquainted with what feels right versus what we think is right or wrong. Because the thing is that the mind tries to create outcomes based on past outcomes. But the reality of the situation is that those same things aren't going to happen in those same ways ever again, And so that's just the reality of it. And so when it comes down to it, the importance of getting into the heart is that we need to become acquainted with our truth. So that being said, I'm going to talk a little bit now about meditation. Meditation, we get this idea that meditation is this whole thing where you have to sit here and not think about anything. And that is a form of meditation. However, there are many forms of meditation, and in this specific type of meditation, this is just mindfulness. We're paying attention to what is in the way of our truth, and the more we breathe into what our truth is, the more our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, and those things are going to come up. But as they say, you have to feel to heal. And so what we're going to practice is breathing into those things, allowing them to come up. And the funny thing is that when we actually breathe into these things and we actually take our time to feel our feelings, they dissipate. But what we've been taught is to repress them, to press them down, because we don't want to have feelings. But what we're doing is we're allowing them to pop out of another hole. Like we're stuffing them in and then they're just going to pop out somewhere else, and we're blocking ourselves. So let's get acquainted with what we feel like. Yes, it is going to be a little bit difficult at first, but breathing into these things, I would recommend getting a journal as well, because a journal is going to be your best friend in this whole thing. This is all about self-awareness, y'all. And this is the most important thing that we can give ourselves at these times. There's a lot of focus, as I've seen, on people with the outside world and what's happening in the world and all of these things that we cannot control. But what we can do is show up as our best selves, work on ourselves, inspire others to become more of themselves. And then the world, becomes a much better place, just one deep breath at a time, one observation about yourself at a time, one feeling through your feeling at a time. Okay? All right, soul fam. So we're going to start by sitting in a position with our spines upright, either with your legs crossed or on a chair with your feet flat on the ground, okay? And we're gonna have our hands open, palms open and flat on the legs, just on the knees, just resting. We're gonna start by taking a deep breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth, and close down your eyes with that out breath. And we're going to take another deep breath in through the nose, filling up the entire body cavity like a glass of water. Hold it up top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out through the mouth audibly, please. And we're going to take it back in through the nose, feeling that body cavity fill up from the bottom to the top. Holding at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you breathe out, feeling any tension in the body rush out, melt out like little pieces of butter on toast. All right, and in through the nose again. We're going to keep this breathing pattern for just a second. Breathing in and holding at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. All the way out, squeezing every last bit of tension out of your body, every piece of breath. And without stopping, back in, up to the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back out. Now I want you to return to your normal breath pattern, allowing yourself to just be here. There's nothing that you're supposed to be doing right now necessarily, just hanging out, spending this time with yourself, giving yourself the gift of your own love right now, the gift of your own attention. Now I want you to, on your next in-breath, breathe into the heart as if the heart were a lung. So just feel that space fill up with your breath, and then breathe out. This is just in your normal breath pattern. Maybe paying attention to when the cold air that goes in stops and becomes the warm air that comes out. Recognizing your ability to transform things very quickly. And breathing into that heart space. Now in this space, I want you to just become aware of what you are feeling. Don't try to change it. We're just becoming aware. All of our emotions are always speaking to us. We are in constant communication with everything inside of and around us. And if we can tune into and become mindful of it without trying to change it, we can become aware of what it is trying to say to us, what it is speaking to us, where it is asking for us to heal. So keeping with that breath in the heart, keeping with the feeling of feeling. If you do find yourself more in the head space, visualize a drain at the base of your brain, letting all of those thoughts fall down into your heart with each out breath. And as I said, you may experience some feelings that don't feel so great in your heart. You may experience anger or sadness, but you also may experience joy or love, depending on where you are in your journey, where you are with yourself. Knowing that no matter where you get to in your journey, that these feelings will always be present. We just learn how to communicate with them better, learn how to listen to them better. Keep breathing. And whatever feelings are coming up, continue to breathe into that feeling. We can go into deeper breaths if you need to here. So just taking a deep breath in, holding, and releasing that breath. The key here is to breathe into that feeling, because beyond that feeling is your truth. You may not love yourself right now, but the point is not to completely love yourself in this moment. The key is to breathe into what's stopping you from loving yourself in this moment. The key is to breathe deeply into your truth so that you can reveal the beauty of you behind the trauma. Keep breathing. The beauty of you behind the doubts. The beauty of you behind what this world has placed upon you that is not who you are. And the more we become acquainted with our truth, with our heart, with what we feel like, the less we're affected by the things around us, the more we know what belongs to us and what doesn't. Keep breathing. You're doing an amazing job. In through the nose and out through the mouth, breathing every last drop of that out. The power of the breath and the power of your emotions are one of the most powerful tools that you've been given here in this lifetime. The breath can move internal mountains if we practice this regularly. And the heart is our compass. Keep breathing. The heart is our compass that steers us in always the right direction. Even if we don't understand it with the mind, the heart always knows where we're going. And breathing in, with each out breath, visualize breathing out or feel yourself dissipating whatever is there. Or if you just need to keep breathing into it, some things are so built up that we can't just get rid of them right now. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a while. So keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let anything that comes up, let it be there. Allow it to be. We have to feel to heal. And I promise you that on the other side of whatever this is, even if this is a positive feeling for you, this is going to bring you closer to yourself, closer to your joy, deeper in your love, deeper in the infinite being that you are. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. And it's not a time to logically try to decide what these feelings are communicating to us. It will reveal itself to us as the days go on. So I do highly recommend having a journal as well so that you can write about this meditation afterward. And keep one with you throughout the day as when we move things, keep breathing. When we start to move this energy, it doesn't all come out in one big plug. We have to recalibrate and start to fill this space with more of ourselves. And just know that who you are is so important to this world. Who you are, you were sent here perfectly with everything that you need for exactly the mission that you were put here for. Keep breathing into that heart space. And it may not feel true to you now, but the more you become acquainted with your heart, the more you become acquainted with your truth, the more you will recognize that this is truth. You are exactly who you need to be. Even in this moment. And the pain and the suffering, those things are our weights, our spiritual weights, so that we can build our spiritual strength, so that we can know what it is to be on the other side of things and step into this world in our highest healing. These are things that we may not understand in this moment, but keep breathing into that heart, into that love, into that joy, into that anger, into that fear, into that anxiety. If it gets to be too intense, it's okay. You can take a break. You can come back to this one day at a time. We're going to start with our baby steps. And I want you to take your hands and place them over your heart. And give yourself gratitude for showing up here today to even give this a shot. It takes a lot to be able to do this. It takes a lot to be here in this moment, recognizing that you're on your path to growth, to choosing growth, in spite of everything else, in spite of the pain, in spite of what you've been through, in spite of what you haven't been through, in spite of who you think you should be. To show up here today and to breathe into this space is truly, truly, truly an amazing thing. So hands over your heart and show some gratitude for yourself in this moment. Make a promise with your heart that you're going to start to show up more. That you're going to start to clear out the blockages so that it can express itself in its full, true, and beautiful form. And get your arms up, and in the next deep breath, bring your arms in and give yourself the biggest hug, Even if you don't believe it, you are truly an amazing being. And the fact that you are here on this frequency, doing this work, means that you're in the right spot. You're doing it. So you may open your eyes now, wiggle your limbs, and pull yourself back into this space. I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming here. It is, especially during these times, the most important thing for us to show up for ourselves, for us to be in our truth, for us to be who we are despite what we've been taught. And the thing is that it doesn't take, you don't have to try to be who you are. The thing is that it's going to naturally show up the more that you do this work. You know, a tree doesn't try to be a tree. It's just out there just treeing. That's just what it does. That's just what it do. And so, you know, it's the same as true for us as, you know, as human souls as well. So I just want to thank y'all for showing up. And the thing with this is that you may not see results instantly, but give it time. Things are happening, even without us recognizing it. Things are happening and things are changing. You'll start to see. Well, I thank you all for being here and for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below for more videos like this, for new moon, full moon meditations, and also for sometimes astrology and tarot readings as well. So thank you again. I can't say thank you enough for being here. I hope you all have a really amazing and healing day. Until next time, peace.